Okay, everyone, let's call the meeting to order. Welcome everybody tonight out there. Boy, we got a big audience tonight.
No problem.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate that.
And Miss American Pageant was all that.
Yeah.
On K1
You really for office?
Roll call, please.
Chris Head.
Present.
Mary Jean Krieger.
Present.
Mitch Magness.
Present.
Linda DeWall.
Present.
Bill Boswell.
Oh.
Heath Kirkpatrick.
Present.
Joel Williams.
Present.
Wayne Combs.
Present.
You have a quorum.
All right, if my favorite pastor of all times would lead us in prayer, please.
All right. Stand and pray with me. God, just thank you so much for the great city of Harrison that we live in. God, thank you for this holiday season that we get to be reminded of the greatest gift, your grace. Thank you for the families that we have, that we can enjoy this time with each other and the season of giving. Lord, just thank you for, again, for all that we have. We know it comes from you. Give us wisdom as your servants and civil leaders tonight in tonight's meeting. God, we thank you again for your grace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Okay, we need a motion to approve minutes
Got
from
it.
November.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, motion approved. Let's go right to Chief Graddy.
Thank you. I did. Finally. All right. Somebody asked me, said, what are we watching tonight? I said, we're not going to watch anything tonight. I think everybody's got used to some videos and pictures. And tonight I just wanted to kind of sum up our year. I can't believe we're in December already. Seems like this year has flown by. I'll start off with the monthly report. We'll get that out of the way if y'all have any questions of that. Accidents worked year to date, 377. Year to date, I'm sorry, that was 2018. Year to date this year is 352. There was 33 traffic accidents investigated in November. Fatality accidents year to date 2018 were 4. Year to date for 2019 is 2. 277 citations issued in November. Year to date 2018 was 2,238. Year to date this year is 3,304. Written warnings 3,672. For last year, this year 6,240. So we've got quite a bit of an increase there, and I like to point that out, that the guys are out there and they're diligent and they're working, and we're actually doing that with one less patrol officer than we had last year. So I'm glad that they're doing that, and I applaud them for that. DWIs were up 64 for the year, 54 same period last year. We've had 4 this year, or excuse me, 4 this month. Total calls for service, 1,475 for November. Last year was 20,741. This year's 20,630. Next page is our SROs. They had 21 sessions of counseling with students, 13 with parents or adults, and 20 with faculty and staff. And they have completed 24 classroom lectures for the month of November. If we go to the next page, warrants served for November, 224. Year to date, 2,225. Animal control is next page. 83 calls answered in November. Year to date is 1,069. And then the next 3 pages is the criminal investigation detective division, and you can look at those. And then if we'll go to our monthly community engagement activity, we had 28 contacts with local businesses. Public safety announcements were 5. We'll drop down. There's total number of people reached through events, 2,600 people, and 37 schools visited, and that's by our 2 community engagement officers in November. Our narcotics report in the month of November, the drugs that we seized was methamphetamine, marijuana, THC oil, heroin, LSD, and some pills. Had 9.5 grams of methamphetamines, 169 grams of marijuana, 49 pills, 4 tablets of LSD, and THC wax was 35 grams. Total value of that's $5,495. Out of that was seized, we arrested 11 for felony charges and 4 for misdemeanor charges. And it looks like we seized 2 guns and 2 vehicles that were valued at $1,361 in cash. And then we had some drug paraphernalia. And I'm not for sure if you saw it in the paper, maybe on the news. Our 3 top people that we indicted this year in our sting, they got 50 years. 23 and a half for the main guy, and 15 for, I guess, the second one, and then 10 for the father that allowed him to do it. And that's federal time, so they're there. They won't be getting out. If it's 23 and a half years, they're going to be there. There's no good time or anything like that, so they're gone. So I was thankful to see that. I just want to touch base on a few things that we wanted to accomplish this year, and I've thought back on some of the goals that we had, and I've got just a little bit of a list here, and if you'll allow me to share it with you. One of the things that we were concerned with earlier in the year, and I think I mentioned it to y'all, was the security where our officers come in the back alley. And we all know what can happen. What happened in Federal just a few weeks ago. It's horrible. And hopefully we get a new public safety building. In a couple years, we will have a secured parking lot. That way you can't just walk right up on an officer doing reports in the parking lot and shoot him 10 times right in the head. But we have lighting back there. I did add security cameras where we can at least see and have on film if something did happen. And after the incident in Fayetteville, our Home Depot here in Harrison brought down 2 huge LED lights that they donated to us. And we're going to get those on some sort of poles or something, and we're going to light that up even more out back. So, we installed Atlas, and that is an ACIC software that goes in our in-car computers. It's a free service provided by the state police. It's maintained by the state police. The service we had before actually cost us money, and it would not auto-populate. When they ran somebody, they'd have to type all the information on the crash report or on a ticket. Now, when they run somebody, they hit one button, it fills all that in, name, date of birth, address, VIN number. They can write a warning or a ticket in probably 15 to 30 seconds, if that long. Where before, it might take them 3 or 4 minutes to type all the information in. So that's something that we got on board about March, and it's working real well, and the patrol officers has said they're very appreciative of that. I don't know how many man hours that saved us, but you go from 4 or 5 minutes to a ticket to 30 seconds to a ticket on 300 tickets you can figure out. So we added a second officer to narcotics, and grateful to this council. We brought back longevity pay for our officers that are tenured officers, and they were so appreciative of that, and they wanted me to share that with y'all. We presented that to them at our Christmas party earlier this month. So the narcotics division obviously partnered with the FBI in undercover narcotics investigation that yielded the second largest methamphetamine bust in the state of Arkansas, which was 150 pounds. And it led to 24 federal indictments of methamphetamine dealers in Harrison and Boone County. So that's 24 people that will be gone for a while. K-9 division, we got them off of patrol and doing just drug interdiction, and we've already had 1 arrest that led to a federal indictment that the feds picked up off one of our K-9 stops. So They're doing a good job for us. We purchased new weapons. All officers have new sidearms, and our special operations team was working with rifles that was 10 years old, maybe older. Our sidearms was 8 years old. So we've replaced all that, and we'll be transitioning over to our new weapons hopefully within the next month. Our officers participated in 3,254 hours of training. I guess that was more than what they had done in the past, is what I've been told, but we had a few things that I thought we needed to be trained in. One of them was TVI, Tactical Vehicle Intervention, which we spoke on that earlier. Another one was our sobriety checkpoints. That hadn't been done. We've done them this year, and we obviously had our officers trained and certified on sobriety checkpoints. Since we implemented sobriety checkpoints, our DWI arrests are up 22%, and that is through December 6th, I believe. Our citations are up 28%. We worked on fundraisers this year, and that's something that I really wanted to share with you. We took 15 children shopping the other day, and that was well, you can applaud yourselves and the people of our community, because John said that we've received more donations for Shop with a Cop than we ever have in 13 years. So we're thankful to our community for the kindness they've shown. In addition to those 15 children that we took shopping, we spent, we've assisted about 30 other children and families that's been brought to our attention through the schools here in Harrison, that we've assisted financially in one way or another. So,
Do you have any idea of the amount you spent, roughly?
How much have we spent? Well, the other day, just with the 15 at Walmart, it was like $2,700 that we spent with those 15. I think it averaged out about 175. So, I mean, and those children, they wanted to buy something for their sister, or something for their brother, or their mom, or their dad. And, some of them we just kind of had to say, what do you like? What do you want? And so it was just a great experience. And I had participated in that before with the state. We had done that for several years. And it's just a great program that brings children and shows them a side of law enforcement that they probably never get to see. And we're thankful for that. And the frontline families, guys, some of the officers and their spouses, they are really working hard out there for our department and our community, and they're the main reason that we're getting these donations, and we're doing all this for these children. So, any questions? All right, thank y'all.
Okay. Looks like we've got Wade next.
Okay, quick update on
My God. NBC hit the dust.
Just lay down.
There goes the full coverage of Miss America right down.
Yeah, lay it down.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Leaf pickup, we're kind of starting to wind that down. We should be done with Ward 1. If they didn't finish late this afternoon, they'll get it done pretty quick tomorrow. We'll move on to Ward 4 next week. Should have that done within a few days, definitely before the end of the year. Another quick update on the public safety building that was Chief Graddy mentioned earlier. The architects are moving forward with the design. We are nearing a schematic design, about a 30% set, hopefully within the next month or so. We did take qualifications from contractors to serve as construction manager for the project. We received, it was 8 or 9 submittals. We shortlisted that down to 4 firms to interview. Of the 4 firms that we interviewed, 1 was from Little Rock, 1 was from Fayetteville, the other 2 were local. We actually completed those interviews yesterday afternoon. Following those, we met for quite a while, and kind of discussed everything. Shortlisted it down to the 2 local firms. After the interviews, we felt they were probably the best fit. And in the end, Davis Construction has been selected to serve as the construction manager, which will be a construction manager at risk delivery method, and we will be starting negotiations with them to get that contract in place, and hopefully I'll be bringing the contract to council next month for approval. We hope sometime in the next couple months to have some actual sketches and information that we can show you. We looked at a few yesterday with our architects. We're not ready to maybe show them to everybody until we can sit down with our construction manager and make sure what we're looking at is something that we're going to be able to afford to build. We don't want to put any unrealistic expectations out there, but hopefully within the next couple months we'll be able to give you guys an idea of what this building will look like and what the layout will be. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that any of you might have regarding any of my departments.
Wade, I've had several folks ask me about how we're coming along with the dam removal project.
We have been working back and forth with Game and Fish and the Nature Conservancy. We've reached a point to where a very conceptual design has been done with a very uncertain cost estimate. It's high enough that I'm not really comfortable to bring it back right now with the level of uncertainty. So we're working a little bit with the groups to put together funds to do a 30% design where we can get a little bit more confident cost estimates. So far, the anticipated cost is around $20,000. Game and Fish has offered $50,000 or $5,000. The Nature Conservancy has offered $5,000 as well. I don't have all of that with written information. So that would be another $10,000 that we'd either be looking at funding ourselves or finding another source. There's a group of us, we're trying to put together a tour of some of the stakeholders to go look at a similar stream restoration over in Madison County at the beginning of next month. So hopefully I can get some better information there. And the plan was tentatively to come back after the new year and talk to you a little bit about what it would take to get some better ideas on what the real cost would be. I'm not comfortable asking you guys to make a decision on a very large project based off the information I've seen so far.
Okay. Do we have maybe a time when Game and Fish is looking at coming back to us?
It could be next month. Next month, I'm probably going to lay out what it would take to get to that 30% design so we can start discussing what our funding options might be.
What about our sinkhole? Did we get that all?
Sinkhole is repaired. We've pulled off the site for a couple of reasons. One, that crew had to get started on leaf pickup. And also, the repair is done. We've still got some site work to do to get things fully cleaned up. Energy had decided they wanted to relocate one of their lines through there, so we held off on finishing things out so they get that done. And they got that done about a week or two ago.
Okay.
Chris, you can assure everyone that we'll make sure the public is well aware of everything. We'll have plenty of public meetings before any decision is made on it.
And there's still a lot of people at where we at
Sure,
with that.
I was
Where we
asked
at?
about it a couple of times
Yeah, I
today,
was.
so.
So it's a big thing to consider, and I'm just not ready to start throwing a bunch of stuff out there before the people that are working on it have got the information to where I think we can be confident that what we're looking at is what we'd be seeing down the road.
The original plan that I saw had several entities on this sheet that we were looking at that were possible contributors to the project. I don't know if all those are willing to, but
Probably not all of them. Right now, who we're dealing with mostly is Game and Fish and Nature Conservancy. Now, U.S. Fish and Wildlife has a division that would get involved in the dam removal if we move forward with that. So that's where some of their funding would come into play. Right now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get them to put a lot of money in until we say we actually want to do it. And it's going to be hard for us to commit to such a large project with such a low level of design and certainty on the cost right now.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, Chief Lowery.
Oh, Bob Largent had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Regarding this, I sent you a note today. We have been selected as a recipient of an International Economic Development Council grant that may in fact provide us not dollars, but resources to do the work that you're talking about. I sent you a copy of your email
I received
today.
it.
The potential is very real. It's a community development grant provided by the Economic Development Administration of the United States out of their Austin regional office.
Okay, in front of you is our department report. Again, it gets thick. Well, with the addition to the community risk reduction, we keep adding stuff to our departmental report, so that's kind of what's in front of you there. A couple things I'd like to highlight real quick before taking questions is that per the mayor's request for this year, we started working hard on clean premise. I want to say how much I appreciate Grant's work and the mayor's work, and of course Clint and his division's work on getting that done. The court system we're all in a learning process with this. I think it's working well, so we're moving forward with that. One thing to anybody in Facebook land, we are creating a new Facebook page for our department. There were some issues with our last one that we just scrapped it and starting over. So if you all see that, by all means follow us and see what we're up to. You kind of echo Chief Graddy's comments about the longevity. Our department was tickled to death, to say the least, to get longevity for the first time ever. And it's thankful to you people around this table. So grateful for that. Business license, I'd like to remind everybody that business license is beginning. They're going to be technically due January 2nd. So at that point, we'll be sending a couple of guys around to kind of make sure that everybody's in compliance with that. There is a learning curve with this. We get it. We're not going to be just beating on doors January 2nd wanting money. We'll work with everybody and try to get this accomplished. So with that, does anybody have any questions on my report?
Council, you're going to have probably a lot of questions going forward on the business license, but as far as applying, they can apply on our website, City of Harrison, and there's a nice link to the business license there that they can apply. But Marc and I have talked about this a lot, and it's going to be overwhelming at first to get everybody on board, but most everyone seems very cooperative, so we really appreciate that. So.
The chamber is still receiving checks on a monthly basis.
Yes.
Really?
Really, we deliver once a week.
Yeah, it delivers.
Okay, thank you. We'll take that off your hands, Brother Sid. Okay, Luke. All right, thank you. David is not with us. And Chuck, you have something?
No, short and sweet. It's the end of the year, so I just want to come up here and point out a couple of people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank you, the City Council, and Mayor Jackson, for allowing us to take the Parks Improvement proposal to a vote this year. Also, I'd like to thank Kiwanis and Rotary for the assets they're bringing to the community with the dog park and the all-inclusive park. So I just wanted to say that again because that's going to be great for this community. But thanks again. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. That's basically what I wanted to say tonight. So thank you. Thank you.
Great report.
Yeah.
Chonda, well, we'll move into committees. Joel? Nothing, Joel. Mitch?
All we have tonight are two items. Start with the 2020 budget. Of course, we need to approve the budget for the next year, and so with that said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the budget for the 2020 fiscal year.
Second. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this matter?
Luke, you have anything to add to it?
The only other thing, I do kind of,
I'll come up here real quick. The budget as you have it now, that is obviously what we're proposing right now. We did find a little bit of change, I won't say change, but things that will need to be adjusted mid-year based on the sales tax that was passed for police and fire. We've learned recently that in order to obtain any kind of bond issuance for that facility that we were looking at, which actually I was just quoted just over 2.5 as far as a bond rate. That was Monday. 2.5. So in order to do that, though, the language that's currently in our police and fire tax does not allow us to pay for principal and interest on bonds. Now, they have done other, again, that was kind of back from 2015 when all that was written up. That literature is not in there. So when I talked to the bond underwriter and the bond counsel, they said that they've seen this in the past, and so their suggestion is to create a franchise fee fund. So basically take the franchise fees that we get in the general fund, and without getting into all the details, you basically set that aside to cover the bond fees, the insurance and the principal. We currently give part of those franchise fees to police and fire now. I would suggest we continue to do that. Anything in excess that doesn't cover the bond, or that is over and above the bond interest and principal, we can give back to whoever. So I'm just recommending that we'll go give that back to the appropriate funds. All that to say, we can do it. It's going to be a little bit more accounting wise, but we can still do it. And I thank them for pointing that out to us rather than getting too far down the road and then us saying, oh wait, that wasn't legal. We need to do
That would not be cool.
You need to now repay, so much money. So that was a good catch by them. Unfortunately, we didn't have it in there. We can go back out to the voters in the future and do an amendment to that if we so choose, but that's a decision for a later date. So we will probably have to do this amendment to the budget mid-year, just so we can, if we start to start the process now, which we're very much headed towards for building this facility, we need to make sure that everything's on the up and up, and the bondholders get their desire to have those fees set aside. So.
Luke, that would be required even if we did bank financing or bond financing?
That is kind of what I'm understanding now. There's nothing in the sales tax ordinance as it sits now that would allow us to do that. So
we're looking at probably saving about 2 points, maybe 4.5 right now, or maybe a little better with banks, but 2.5 is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
So,
a couple
that's
months
substantial on, we're looking at what, 3.5 million?
Yeah,
So,
a couple months ago we were looking at 4.75 is what we were quoted from a bank. So
banks, about 2 points.
yeah, so it's substantial to be able to do that, and a good savings for the city.
Okay, all right.
As it sits, though, the budget that you have now is I believe one that everybody feels comfortable with.
Good, thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you all. Let's see, longevity pay.
Yep. Next item we have, and if you remember from committee, all we're doing is changing the wording of the longevity policy, going from 0 to 4 years to 1 to 4 for the initial, and that was just a change again in that wording. So I would make a motion that we approve that change.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that matter? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that
That's-
passes good.
All out of finance, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. Linda?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Mary Jean Krager.
I would like to commend our police and our fire department on the respect that they showed when they brought Stacy
Wow.
Wheeler home.
Nice comment.
And I really like the coverage of the Shop with the Cop because
On our
I like
NBC,
kids.
NBC, is that where it was?
Yeah.
Right there. Thank Caitlin.
Thank you.
But it was,
She makes us look really good. And
And that's pretty hard to do.
yeah, it's pretty hard to do, especially for Marc.
If you guys look at the Harrison Daily Times,
they had good coverage.
the very last page on the Harrison Daily Times has about a half page of Chief Graddy with a cop, with a.
But our
with a kid.
cook-off in July contributed major to that.
Yes.
Because we gave them,
Who won that?
we raised over
Fire
Well,
$500.
the people that sit around and cook 24/7.
Best career ever.
All
But
right.
anyway,
How come we never see a sample of all this stuff? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
you should have come down on the square.
Mary Jean, you have anything else?
No,
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you. We'll go down to Bill.
One thing we have, Mr. Mayor, is we sent forward out of committee, and it's in the form of an ordinance, will be on Chris's end for water and sewer rates and the Caribou Water District and CPI and all that good kind of stuff. So we got an ordinance pending. Other than that, it's all, I don't have anything else.
Do we pass that over to Chris? Or?
Yeah.
Just like Bill said, that ordinance request was punted over to my committee, and we have one. I hope everybody's had a chance to review it, to put forth for a reading tonight. Actually, if the council agrees, what we would like to do is pass it through on all three readings tonight. It's my understanding. So is there any discussion? Has everyone had a chance to look at the ordinance? Do we approve?
I would make a motion that we suspend the rules and place the ordinance on its first reading by title only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Wayne Combs,
Yes.
Chris Head,
Yes.
Mary Jean Krieger,
Yes.
Mitch Magness,
Yes.
Linda DeWald,
Yes.
Bill Boswell,
Yes.
Heath Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Joe Williams.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
I'll read it then. An ordinance establishing water and sewer rate increases and for other purposes.
Okay, I'd make a motion that we place the water rate ordinance on its second, and that we suspend the rules, place it on its second and third reading by title only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Chris Head,
Yes.
Mary Jean Krieger,
Yes.
Mitch Magness,
Yes.
Linda DeWald,
Yes.
Bill Boswell,
Yes.
Heath Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Joe Williams,
Yes.
Wayne Combs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
An ordinance establishing water and sewer rate increases and for other purposes.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Do we not need to suspend the rules and make this an emergency?
I think if it wants to go into effect by February 1st, I believe that gives us enough time without
Okay.
an emergency.
Okay. No discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary Jean Krieger,
Yes.
Mitch Magness,
Yes.
Linda DeWald,
Yes.
Bill Boswell,
Yes.
Heath Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Joe Williams,
Yes.
Wayne Combs,
Yes.
Chris Head.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, then the next item is the third and final reading of our ordinance on purchasing.
I make a motion we place the ordinance for purchasing on its third reading by title only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this matter?
And the motion would suspend the rules as well, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry about that.
Roll call, please.
Mitch Magness,
Yes.
Linda DeWald,
Yes.
Bill Boswell,
Yes.
Heath Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Joe Williams,
Yes.
Wayne Combs,
Yes.
Chris Head,
Yes.
Mary Jean Krieger.
Yes.
Motion carries.
An ordinance replacing Chapter 3.04 of the City Code of Harrison, Arkansas regarding purchasing.
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Got a motion and
Who
a second.
seconded?
I did. Heath, yeah.
Okay, roll call, please.
Linda DeWald,
Yes.
Bill Boswell,
Yes.
Heath Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
Joe Williams.
Yes.
Wayne Combs.
Yes.
Chris Head.
Yes.
Mary Jane Krieger.
Yes.
Rich Magness.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Good job. Anything else, Bill or Chris?
Not from us.
Okay. Boy, we're moving along real well. Takes us down to old business, new business. We have, is Matt with us tonight?
No, but he did call me. I'm a
Oh, okay.
liaison for the
You're Matt.
CMT-PC.
You're the coolest guy in town.
So I'd like to, I've enjoyed serving on that. I know Mary Jean's on there with me. We got a great team. But I would like to present to the council to reappoint Mr. Philip Wood.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Boy, good job, guys. Takes it down to the last and final part, and it allows me to say a few words, and I don't have much to say other than Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all you folks. I want to say this is obviously my first year with you, but I've sat out there amongst all those people for about 6 years, and it was, it was a very learning experience. But being up here is obviously different, but I know we never agreed on everything all the time, but I know without a doubt that all of you have the best interest of the city at heart. So I thank you for that. You guys are a tremendous council. I hope you're all with us next year and then many years to come. But motion to adjourn.
Got it.
She's always
She's on it.
Hey, I'm ready.
There you go.
Good job.
Thank you.
You can have your microphone back now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn it.